Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, October 3rd. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening. Well, two new tools are now in place to help schools throughout the area stay safe. Governor Larry Hogan announced the launch of a tip line and mobile app. The app will help streamline the process of reporting possible threats to students at school facilities. During an event at the Maryland Emergency Management Agency, Hogan said that everyone must remain ever vigilant when it comes to protecting kids and the community. Students, parents, teachers, and others can anonymously give information about a potential problem by downloading the app at stayschoolsmd.org or by calling 1-833-MD-BE-SAFE. You see the number right there on your screen.
Well, following the governor's announcement in Reisterstown this afternoon, we sought reaction from local teachers. Teresa Dudley is president of the Prince George's Educators Association.
It's something that he should have done a long time ago. The incident that happened.
I think that he is using the publicity surrounding the shooting down in St. Mary's County, I believe it was, as a political grandstanding event. And it's not that, it's serious. It affects the lives of children and educators. And when these things are happening in schools, the one group of people that you really need to discuss these things with is the teachers and the educators in the state of Maryland and in Prince George's County.
Meantime, the Department of Justice awarded a 3-year grant of $1 million to the Maryland Emergency Management Agency that will be used to implement a new violence prevention model in schools. Well, you get a life-altering medical diagnosis, but you're determined to stay positive and survive.
That's right, Patty. It's the story of Jackie Woody and countless other cancer survivors. We shared a small portion of her experience yesterday. Today, Gina Barty is back with part 2 of her conversation with that very strong, positive lady. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed hearing from her.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think, Patty, you even said that you knew Jacqueline.
Yes, I've known Jackie for many years.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize all of this had happened. So it just makes you realize how strong somebody is.
Yeah, and she really handled this like a champion, just very calm, cool, and collected, just like you said, very strong and positive. Even when she was telling me this story, you could tell that she had that same character 25 years ago.
You probably walk away inspired.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, it was just 25 years ago when the doctor told Jacqueline Woody that the lump in her breast was malignant. She was determined then that the disease wasn't going to take charge of her life.
By profession, I am a librarian, so I've been trained to do research. If I want to understand something, I'm going to look it up, I'm going to get information. So that's what I did. I read a lot, and of course, at that time, didn't have the great access to the internet. So I had access to the library resources. And so I did that, and I talked to people and shared it with friends, and people were recommending others. And so after I took the time to do the research, then I made some decisions about how I thought the care should go. There were family and friends who thought I took too much time to make the decision as to what I was going to do next. And so that was a little frustrating, but I just felt, I needed to do it.
You took charge of your health. How important is that for women to take charge of their health?
That is one of the things that I like to say when I'm talking about this experience. Get all the information you can and make the decisions that work for you. The things that work for me might not work for you, but know that you have resources out there, and it's just so much access now to information. So I do tell women, whether it's breast cancer or anything else, any other health challenge that you have, know for yourself. Find out as much as you can for yourself, and also realize that there are people who will support you in that. So when people tell me that a friend has been diagnosed or a family member, and they ask me if I will talk with them, I said absolutely yes, because I do think it's important to have somebody that you can talk to, somebody who understands to some degree the experience that you're about to have, even though yours may be different. But there is things that you can learn and support that you can get from other people who shared the experience. So when it comes to our health, and Black women in particular, I think it's really, really important that we know that the resources, they may not be forthcoming. We may have to do a little research and ask a few more people, but do it and don't be afraid to ask other people for help and support.
What would you say to another young lady if she found a lump today?
I would say, first of all, do something. And if that do something is, if the first do something is talking to somebody, then do that. The second do something is to get information. And know that it's not the end of your life. It's the beginning of a different kind of life, perhaps, knowing that you have a disease that it can be devastating. But don't just ignore it and don't procrastinate. However, be proactive, be engaged, and be aware of what you need to do. And call me if you need somebody to talk to.
I love her spirit. How's she doing these days?
She is doing great. She is. She's working still for the county executive's office, thriving, like she said. You know, it did not stop her. She continued to work as she went through chemotherapy. You know, I think if you heard in the piece, she said she thinks really the way that she handled it made it easier for her husband and her son. So her son was 9 years old and didn't even realize really that. He knew mommy was sick, but it wasn't like, oh, mommy is dying.
Because
or
mommy
something.
was strong during this whole process.
Yeah.
So are the statistics different for minorities in terms of breast cancer?
Oh, most definitely. The mortality rate for African American women and other minorities is much higher than it is among white women. But the gap is closing with new treatments and technology. You know, 25 years ago, there was no such thing as the internet. Right. And so now they have access to more information. And I love that because I think we all know that I think I have aunts and a cousin who have died from breast cancer. We all know of somebody that has been touched by this disease, and so the gap is
It's shrinking.
shrinking, but not the way we know it.
More needs to be done.
More needs
and
to
you're
be done.
hoping to do more stories on this issue throughout
Most definitely, most definitely. We will be attacking this this disease, this subject during the whole entire month. And just like she said, October is the month, but we need to continue this awareness past October. So yeah, we'll be looking at new treatment, new technology, and hearing more survivor stories.
Great. We look forward to your pieces, Gina. Thank you so much.